Hello everybody, Necromancer for Kids here once again. This time bringing you another in real life deck profile. And this one is going to be a plant deck. You could call it plant aggro or plant water or plant recruiter. I'm just going to call it plants for now. But it's a really fun deck that I've been trying to make work. As always, just a disclaimer real quick. These are made with cards I own. So there's certain cards that there won't be in here. And also, I didn't include Duo because this is meant for casual players to play with. But if you're playing this more competitively, feel free, of course, to include Duo or any cards you have or what have you. So, with that said, we will start out with the boss monster of the deck, which is the one and only Fairy King Truesdale. Get you a close up of that beauty. He is a 2200 attack plant, level 6 water, and while he's in defense mode, unfortunately not while in attack mode, it increases the attack of all plant monsters by 500. So at least you can have it in like defense and then make a push with your plants, and then you'll have at least him left over after your opponent uses Mirror Force or something. But it's unfortunate that the error misprint that said that it gains the attack even while in attack mode is not the case. But with that out of the way, of course, to support our Fairy King Truesdale, we have the card that brings plant decks together, really, which is the Lord Poison, which once destroyed by battle will allow you to special summon a plant monster from your graveyard, except Lord Poison. It is another water monster as well, 1500 attack. And this is how you really put the plant deck together. You could play more Truesdale. Some people like to play two, but I like to only play one personally. And some people say to play zero, but I don't think that's any fun. Alongside our Lord Poisons, we've got another plant monster, which is Mystic Tomato. You all should know what that does if you play GOAT format. It is also a plant monster, lo and behold. And in addition to that recruiter, we've got a beater in the form of Homunculus, the alchemic being. Another 3 copies of that. And Homunculus is a light plant monster with 1800 attack, 1600 defense. This is a way that you can make the deck a chaos deck. Its effect doesn't really matter. It lets you change its attribute. Very rarely it will come up sometimes, like if your opponent's playing those attribute booster field spells. But yeah, it's a light monster with decent stats. I don't think actually it's even beat by any other light monster except for Thunder Neon Neon, which only works when there's light monsters on the field. And I believe that X Headcanon has less defense. I think it has 1500. And to round up the rest of our plant monsters, we're playing one of my favorites, Prickle Fairy. It's a 2k defender that says that when it's attacked, your opponent's monster is changed to defense position. So it is the anti-Berserk Gorilla. Berserk Gorilla can't destroy it, and then it gets changed to defense by its effect and kills itself. So pretty fun strategy there. Then we've got 2 copies of Mother Grizzly, which allows us to search out our Lord Poisons. But it also lets us search for our Sinister Serpent. This here is a Korean one because I think not only does it look pretty cool, but also it is cheaper. And I'm all for playing cheaper versions of cards. And I mean, I'm personally for even doing proxies of cards, but I know some people don't like that so much. But that's just my personal opinion growing up as a poor child. And to support all of these water cards that we have, in addition, we've got 2 Abyss Soldiers. You can pitch your Sinister Serpent or your Fairy King Truesdale to bounce monster, and then later you can revive Truesdale That's the main 2 cards that you'll be using. And then as side strategy stuff, we have a Newdoria to be searched by our Mystic Tomato, as well as, of course, a Sangan, which searches most of the non-beaters in our deck. And to finish it off, we, of course, have a Breaker, just a good all-around card, +1 when you get to summon it. Following up, we have the Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, and Snatch Steal, which is the trinity of this deck because we're not playing duo, as I mentioned before. And we've got more staples: Premature Burial, Mystical Space Typhoon, Heavy Storm, and 2 Nomino Crossout. And then, because we're so heavy in recruiters in this deck, I'm also running 2 creature swaps to gain advantage. It also works with Newdoria, Sinister Serpent, and Sangan, of course. And then we've got our traps to line it up. First, the staples. We've got Ring of Destruction here. The non-errata version because, again, it's cheaper. Then we have Torrential Tribute, Mirror Force, Call the Haunted. And then for less conventional traps, we have Raigeki Break at 2. You could run 1, or you could run something else instead of these. But again, lets you discard your Sinister Serpents, your Fairy King Truesdale, or something to be able to revive with your Lord Poison when it gets destroyed. Something like that. And also good for back row removal so that your aggro strat can work out. And then we've got here 2 skill drains because there aren't too many cards that actually care about having their effect on the field, Pretty much Breaker and I guess in a way Fairy King Truesdale, but we don't care so much about that. And finally, we've got 2 Solemn Judgments to round it out. Again, you could have 3. I have 2. You could also play none of them, and I think it would work out just fine, especially in a more casual setting. But having that to protect your skill drains, I think, is pretty important. That is deck profile. Let me know what you guys think about it. If you would do anything different, or if you've ever played a similar deck before. Thank you very much, and have a good one.